What up, what up? It's Friday, April 10th, and we are doing a recording for TGIF. I couldn't be on live today, so welcome, guys. This is a YouTube video where we're going to be going over everything that we have in this coming week. So we had some interesting stuff happen over the week with, news, Trump, Iran, the war. And so right now, what we have actually is a potential ceasefire. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I don't think this is just like everything else we've been seeing for this like quote unquote war that's been happening. It just hasn't really been truthful. Anything that's been said by, Trump or the leaders of Iran, it's just kind of been all over the place. So you could expect choppy waters continuing. That's what I'm seeing just based on fundamentals. And also when we have, price clearing up, it is nice. You should take advantage of it. But I'm just going to say with everything and where the world is heading, right now, I'm not 100% sure I can say that price action is going to be really clean. So if you guys have a system that works, that's great. If it's still working, I know a lot of people's systems aren't working as well anymore. So maybe redefining some of those things, having to figure things out along the way to adapt to the changes that are happening. That's the thing with trading is you have to adapt to everything that's happening, because if you don't, you're going to get left behind really quick. So that's what we're doing. And in our private community, obviously we talk a lot about that. But as far as this session goes, I'm going to share my screen and show you guys exactly what's happening in the market right now and how we can capitalize on, the whole situation that's happening right now. So let's go and kick things off. I'm going to share my screen over here so you guys can see. Boom. All right. So we got this over here. And right now we can see that we do have an imbalance over here. Okay, on the daily chart. This is for the micro E-mini NASDAQ. So we're going to take a look at this chart. We're going to go to the other charts and, obviously see what's happening for the market. So right now I already set previous week low over here at Monday or Tuesday's low. We have previous week high at Friday's high. Previous day low down here. And then we have a daily imbalance here. This is the key. This bearish daily fair value gap got disrespected. So that's something that we obviously need to consider. So price is going long. We disrespected the daily bearish fair value gap. We inverted it, and now we're bullish. So that's a huge sign. We're breaking structure continuously to the upside. You can see over here. And so now we have a daily imbalance that we can retrace to. So again, price going down in here is a valid thing that we can see. We hit the monthly fair value gap, and since then we've been calling out longs in the market. So yeah, I said we're in a long this shit, which we are. And on the monthly time frame, I said we were in the premium of the range, so I did want to go down. So monthly time frame wise, it would make sense for us to head into a monthly BPR, but we have to consider that price is really picking up momentum. So unless we see disrespect of this daily bullish for value gap, I'm not looking to short anything. I want price to hit this and just go higher, and then we're going to take advantage of that, obviously. So overall, I'm definitely bullish on this asset. So that's my main thing over here. Heading into the daily fair value gap seems the most likely to continue going long. If we disrespect it, we'll start shorting to the monthly BPR below. So again, I'm trying to react to the market, not guess where it's going to go. And anticipation is key in a lot of different skills and things that you'll find in life. In trading, it also is too, but your job isn't to anticipate and predict perfectly. It's to find the right reaction. It's to react properly and make sure you're on the right side of the market. So this is what we have right here. So again, I want price to go and retrace into this before we go long. And if I go on the 4-hour time frame for a little bit more data, as you should be looking for, you can see this 4-hour imbalance. So price going into this imbalance will be important, because if we disrespect it, we'll probably continue down, go bearish to this daily. If we respect it, maybe we get a push higher before touching this daily. Again, any daily fair value gap that forms isn't something we necessarily have to hit. It's something that it would be nice to hit, because then eventually, it's a great retracement. We head to a discounted level, and then price goes higher, but we don't necessarily need that. So that's MNQ. I think we're looking pretty good. So I'm going to probably be shorting this if we get a bearish PO3 come Monday into this daily, unless we're showing huge signs of respect for this 4-hour and a bullish PO3. Then we'll have to see where things go, or maybe I just don't trade at all because there's too many things that are conflicting with each other. The other thing I want to look at is micro gold. So gold has been looking extremely good. I haven't traded it this week, but you can see even on the 4-hour time frame, there were so many opportunities to long the shit out of gold. And so I'm looking at this 4-hour imbalance right now, and we somewhat overlap with this bearish fair value gap. So this could be a level that we respect and just trade higher from. So I'm just making sure that, again, I'm on the right side of the market in that sense. So here I said we either want to invert the 4-hour before taking longs or use it as a TP. So I was bullish for gold, and that's exactly what we're getting. Okay, so we called out the market perfectly. We were talking about this imbalance last week, and price obviously did its thing and just went higher like we thought it would. So that's the daily imbalance, and right now we're sort of respecting it, which that's expected, but a pullback into some sort of significant area like this volume imbalance here could be an area for us to long from, right? And if you don't know what a volume imbalance is, it's these wick to wick, touching wicks, right? When the tips touch each other into this area, we definitely want to be watching that. Okay, pause. But let's go into the next chart. So I'm bullish for gold. That's pretty simple. Nothing too crazy over there. Oil, I had an example trade over here, and it just just about hit TP. I wasn't in this trade, but if I was, I'd probably be like, that's rage bait. Like, you're getting this close to TP, and then you reverse all the way. So yeah, we weren't in this trade just yet. I didn't take it because I actually missed it, but I called it out on one of the sessions we had. So this 4-hour imbalance holding, for the most part, we tapped into this 4-hour for value gap here. So again, what I want to see here, and this is actually really interesting because we have a failure sweep over here, and we have a bearish BPR. Because we have a bearish for value gap overlapping with a bullish inversion for value gap. So if price goes in there, we may get shorts on oil, and that would be really interesting with everything that's happening. And the reason why, if you don't know, why oil is actually dropping a bit, and it has for the last day, technically, or the last couple of days, is because of the ceasefire. So without people nuking, or not nuking, but bombing, oil reserves, that is making it, that's making the price of oil go down, because obviously if we're destroying all the oil that's on the planet, the price is going to go up because we only have so much oil, right, and fossil fuel on the planet in general. So yeah, that's what we're looking at now. So if we do get into this inversion area, I'm keeping my eye on this really, really hard, because if we get into it, then that may be an area where we short from, unless we disrespect it. So I gotta keep that on the radar for oil. That's extremely important. Okay, so we'll just mark this up over here. And that would be our BPR area. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down here. If we respect this 4-hour, or this daily, sorry, I kept saying 4-hour, it's a daily BPR, we are going to short. If we disrespect it, we hold our original narrative. So my narrative is bullish overall for oil, unless we respect this daily imbalance, which is daily BPR. Then we start shorting. Okay, and I've started getting a hang on how the market's starting to operate. So now we've been in this weird, like, shaky water for a while. It's starting to become a bit more easy to read the market now, because we're starting to see some commonalities and trends. Those commonalities and trends are things that I cover in our VIP community for Champions Academy. So if you guys are part of the community, you already know what I'm talking about in our outlooks or on any of the calls that I do in general. Good conversation that we have about the markets in general. So yeah, if you guys want information on that, by the way, links are in the description of the video. But otherwise, we do this every single week for free. So if you guys want to hop on the live stream and chat, feel free to do so. Even if you're watching, just this video itself, you can hop on every single Friday. So daily BPR to go short. If we disrespect it, we hold our original narrative of going long to this now low resistance liquidity that we have here from the failure sweep. So we're going to delete this. Okay, so bullish for gold, bullish for NASDAQ, potentially bearish for oil. And then we have, on Euro, we caught a banger. This was a banger of a trade. So we just hit the weekly. So I said last week, this is our analysis. This couldn't have been more perfect. Every single day of the week was bullish for Euro. This was our call out last week. High time frame looks liumptious here, all pointing short-term bullish until the weekly inversion fair value gap, likely before heading down to the monthly BPR we have below. We're going to sell off like crazy, especially with the dollar going up. Align yourself PO3. So I want to go to this weekly and then head towards this monthly BPR. So right now we're in the weekly. And if you guys take a look, we have a perfect A+ setup on Euro on the weekly time frame. So we should get shorting opportunities from here now that we're inside. So I'm going to say this. We're in the weekly fair value gap inversion. We're in the weekly, and it's actually a regular fair value gap. I don't know why it's an inversion, but we do have an inversion here actually. So we have somewhat of a BPR as well. Weekly bearish FEG. So we're in the weekly bearish FEG, and so from here heading down to the monthly BPR makes the most sense. And there we go. All right. So that is our analysis and our prediction. Okay. So overall, super bearish now on euro. Okay. So I'm going to delete this now because we know we're in the premium of the range. This is our buy side liquidity sweep. And so some of you guys who are seeing this for the first time might be wondering, like, why is he looking at the weekly and the monthly time frame? Like, what's the point of that? The point is that if you align yourself with where price wants to go towards, with the highest probability, even finding low time frame entries that line up with this is going to increase the chances of you winning by like a crazy amount. Because what a lot of traders do is they go into these markets and they're just like, yeah, let me look at the 50-minute time frame. Let me look at the 30-minute time frame. Let me look at the 5-minute time frame. And they just get tunnel vision. They look at that and they're buying inside of like a 4-hour bearish imbalance, and then you wonder why you're getting stopped out. It's because you're not paying attention to the higher time frame. So if I see, just like we predicted with euro, we said literally after we break structure to the downside, we're going to go into this weekly fair value gap, and we just got that. Exactly that is what just happened. So we called out the market every single day of the week, 100% accuracy on this asset. So because we did that, I was able to send out an actual signal on the 4-hour time frame to our community, and you guys can see it here. It was a 1 to 3.5 risk reward ratio, and it was from a 4-hour setup. It was a swing trade, but honestly, that trade only lasted 24 hours, so it wasn't that much of a swing trade. But if I continued and held the trade even longer, this would have just went even higher. But the point is, high time frame narrative, lower time frame bias, and then the very low time frame execution. If you get all of that in line perfectly, that's going to make a massive difference in your trading. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind, obviously, from being in these sessions, is I'm not just calling out what's happening in the market. I'm actually teaching you how to call out the market. So we had an A+ setup in the 4-hour time frame. We went long, boom, W. Okay, so that's euro. So I'm bearish on euro now, unless we want to go up here and take out some liquidity. But for me, we're inside of a weekly fair value gap. We're inside of a daily bearish fair value gap. We got a lot of stuff going on. It just makes the most sense. So that's where I'm at now and how I want to position myself for, this asset just moving forward. All right. So let's recap. NASDAQ, bullish. Gold, bullish. Oil, potentially bearish. Euro, leaning bearish. And if we're going to do one more, I want to do Bitcoin. Okay, because Bitcoin had a lot of low resistance liquidity going down, and that would have been a really nice area for us to hit. But the problem is we disrespected this daily bearish imbalance, and that I honestly really didn't expect. So this is where we're at now with price, previous day high and previous day low. We got a daily inversion fair value gap that we didn't tap into yet, but we did tap into this daily bullish imbalance. And price was going higher. So now we got to see what happens here. Because we have this big, it got tapped into, but it's not perfect. We got this big bearish imbalance. If we disrespect this guy over here, then I'm leaning bullish again, even though we have a lot of reason to say that we're bearish. But this is what you have to pay attention to, because right now, in the weekly time frame, we've been holding this weekly imbalance for the longest time. We 100% filled it, and now we're heading back into it. I don't like that, and I'm going to delete it, because we already 100% filled it. So I don't like that for wanting to short Bitcoin. But if you look at the monthly fair value gap here, it is the tiniest thing ever, but it's been respected now for the third time, for almost the third month in a row. That monthly tiny fair value gap is being respected. So this may, start being an area for us to really consider, right? To start, going up into the market. So knowing that, I'm leaning bullish for Bitcoin. I would like to see, in all honesty, a better setup. After we disrespect this daily, potentially a 4-hour setup, that looks really, really nice. And it looks like we're honestly starting to get that. Okay. The only thing is, yeah, this is a fair value gap. We don't really have a liquidity sweep. We kind of have a break of structure. It's not enough to really convince me. So I want to wait. But I am leaning bullish overall for Bitcoin. So that's where I'm at right now. And I'll write that down. So we may be wanting to head up to that weekly imbalance. So this is key. If you guys don't know what I mean by this, I'm saying now that we're disrespecting bearish POIs, moving higher to the weekly bearish fair value gap makes a lot of sense. So if you're wondering what disrespecting means, it means when we're like completely ignoring a bearish fair value gap that's formed and we just completely crush it on the other side. It's a bearish fair value gap, meaning price should tap into that area and then go down, but then we instead go up. And that is disrespecting, because the whole reason this imbalance and fair value gap existed was for price to respect it and go lower. And because we didn't get that, now we have to start realizing, okay, you know what? Price literally said, like, screw this guy. I'm not listening to him. I'm just going the opposite way. So, and that's what happened, right? And that's why we have the current situation we do now. So our previous week high is over here. Previous week low is down here. We're starting to get really bullish market structure on Bitcoin. So final recap, guys. We got NQ, golds, and Bitcoin all trending bullish. And we got Euro and oil that may have a bearish move coming into this next week. So now that we have the market here, again, we call out the markets extremely well. I don't like, there's not many times that we are wrong, to be honest. So if you guys just follow this, use this as a tool. This is not a signals call. This is a, here's what's going to happen during the week kind of call. And so if you can align yourself and your trades with what we're saying, and the overall high time frame narrative stays and it remains in the way we call it during the week, things will go a lot better for you. You will start being on the right side of the market and start turning yourself profitable. So this is what it's all about. If you guys want to, do your funded evals, you want to scale up your live accounts, you want to do any of that kind of stuff to retire from trading and make it happen, it's doable, right? It's not just me, but like many other people have been able to do that in the community, which is amazing. And we're starting to see a real understanding from a lot of the traders, even that just started only with us, 6 months ago. A major difference in the market understanding and, technical analysis at a higher level with smart money concepts. So that's what we teach. And, if you guys want to tap into that, I definitely recommend that you guys check out the description down below. Got some, links over there for the preferred brokers that we use, and also, how you guys can get a part of this community and actually learn how to trade yourself so that you don't have to really worry about finding so many different communities that will just teach you the wrong thing. This will literally be, and it has proven to be for many people, the last trading system that you'll ever need. And so with that being said, guys, every single Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we go live for TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, post-market closure analysis. And so with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.